Hey guys, welcome to interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we are back with a Varus supplementary guide, and today we have a very interesting tank Varus build. Now this is not the first time that I've actually covered tank Varus, but this is kind of an updated build. I mean, if you guys want to see the previous one, I will put up in the cards above now, the previous tank Varus video. But this build is kind of slightly updated. It is kind of pretty similar build though, and I mean, honestly, if you guys want to know the explanation of why tank Varus works as well, again, the video was in the cards at about 20 seconds into this video, so go check out the previous video because I explained the logic of why tank Varus is even a thing. And if you guys don't care about the logic, or you just want to see the gameplay and the build, just stay tuned in this video. But if you guys want to know why this wacky build actually even works, then take a look at that one. So first things first, for the first item, we're gonna go for defensive boots, and of course we are probably gonna go for plated steel caps in the majority of matches, because most of the time you will be against more physical damage than magic damage, but in some games where you need to go for the merc threats instead, then of course go ahead and do that. So for the first item, which is going to be a change from our previous build, we're actually going to go for Bork. Now, why is this the case? Well, basically, we are going for tank Varus, but if we go straight into tank Varus, we're going to do like not enough damage. So we want to get a damage item first. So in this case, we're going to get Bork. In the particular match you will see me play, where we were against a pretty tanky team. We had a Maokai and a Braum, so the Bork here very useful against tanky teams. And of course you get the current health on hit damage. You of course get the physical vamp. You get attack speed. A little bit of AD as well, and the drain passive of course. So then we start going to the tank items. So first up, we're gonna go into Heartsteel. Now what Heartsteel really gives you is it is going to give you the huge amount of health and the ability haste. Now of course the passive to of course proc onto people who are nearby you. You're not going to be able to proc that very often compared to a tank, in the sense that you don't want to really be in a situation where you're walking up close to them to proc it. However, you will notice that you actually do proc it a decent amount. You'll see later on in the game, you do proc it a decent amount, so that is another source of damage for you, but this is really just for the huge amount of health. Now, what do you do with that health? Well, here comes the Titanic Hydra. Gives you even more health, but more importantly, converts your health into AD. So of course you gain AD equal to 15 plus 2.5% of your bonus health. So this item of course is going to make you even tankier, but more importantly is going to give you a ton of AD. So of course you also get the cleave passive, where you get that kind of AoE kind of attack, which also does damage, so that also helps. And by this time we are decently tanky, so we're going to go into a Riftmaker. Now Riftmaker of course is really good for Varus. Gives you the Omni Vamp, gives you the true damage after 4 seconds, as well as of course all of the good stats. Now for the last item, it is very variable. Now I personally like Twin Guard as my last item. It does reduce my AD by a little bit, but honestly with this build, you mostly rely on of course your percent health damage on your W, as well as of course just your auto attacks on hit with the Bork. So I don't think losing AD is too big of a problem in this particular build, but you get the resistances, and of course you boost your armor and magic resist by 35%. And the main big change with the ruined one is of course you do this within 3 seconds instead of 5 previously, so it procs really quickly. Now the other options you have for your last item is something like a Sterix Gauge, which of course is going to give you even more health, and it's also going to give you extra AD, and of course it's going to give you the lifeline shield, the cleanse when you proc the shield. And another option, if you want something a little bit more offensive, is Terminus. Now Terminus of course does give you more AD and attack speed, as well as the magic damage on hit. Also gives you the stacking resistances and the stacking penetration, so that works as well. Now with this build, I want to go for Lethal Tempo, because obviously my build pretty much only has attack speed with my Bork, and I'm going to be attacking really slowly. The previous time we ran this build, I think I went for Conqueror, but I think that was a mistake, because Conqueror doesn't give you attack speed, so I think getting attack speed is going to be a lot more useful here, to just get in your attacks. Of course Brutal, because you still auto attack quite a bit. Giant Slayer against tanks really good, and here we actually go for a Bloodline. You could also go for Alacrity, of course, and here we have Hex Splash as well. Now finally, for the spells, we go for Flash together with Ghost, or you could also go Exhaust if you prefer that. But with all that said, let's now move on to talking about our gameplay. Alright, so now we're going to move on to talking about the gameplay here. So obviously, the first question is, when do you really want to play tank Varus? Now, I really don't have a very good answer for you guys on this one, because I was just kind of playing this build to try it out. I was like, it's like a one and done thing for me. I don't think I'm going to play tank Varus after this or very often, because it's this kind of awkward build where you do deal a decent amount of damage, but not nearly enough damage. And as an ADC, your role is to do damage, right? Your role is not to do a little bit of damage and survive. That's a little bit more like a little bit more like a fight, a little bit more like a bruiser. That's not really the job of an ADC, right? So I would say that you probably want to build this build if you play Varus like in the top lane. But you know, playing Varus in the top lane is kind of gonna ruin your team comp. So I wouldn't really recommend like ADCs in the top lane or the mid lane in general. So yeah, I really don't recommend playing this build when you're playing Varus ADC. Now, in this game, I chose to go for this build because I knew that my team had enough damage. Now, what do I mean by that? We have a Tryndamere and a Yasuo, two, you know, big AD damage sources, and we also have a supportive enchanter in Nami, and we also have a tank in Set. So overall, just a really good team comp. The only real issue is that we're lacking AP. And on the enemy team, we have a Maokai and we have a Ornn. Two tanks who are just gonna stack armor. And if I go like for a normal like either Lethality build or on-hit build or anything like that, you know, we're just gonna get armor stacked. They're just gonna get armor stacked on, and you know, probably get random omen, things like that. I mean, Yasuo crits, Tryndamere crits. Although thankfully Varus does not crit. But yeah, so it is going to just be a very similar situation to what I just described. So I decided to actually go for the tank build here. I mean, number one, because I want to try it out, but number two, because I think it's really good into this comp, into this enemy comp. Firstly, of course, we do have items like the Bork to get rid of the tanks like Maokai and Ornn. And secondly, we do have the health to survive champions such as the Kha'Zix. And I believe later on there is a particular situation where you see like you see me nearly dying, but I don't, simply because I'm playing tank Varus and I'm too tanky, which is kind of a sentence that is really weird to say, but it is the truth. So yeah, we'll just have to see how this particular game goes. Definitely is going to be a pretty fun game, but it is a pretty boring early stage of the game because you can see that I'm playing pretty aggressively. I mean, Varus's base stats are still really good, so I am still, you know, just playing pretty aggressively and trying to get things done in the early game, despite the fact that I'm going to be building tank. The thing is, Braum is really annoying because Braum blocks everything. So I'm trying to, like, for example, launch my arrow at Ashe. He blocks it. I'm trying to use my QE or autos. He's just gonna block everything, or he has been blocking everything, which is kind of annoying. Now, in the long run, he's gonna be taking a bunch of damage if he keeps doing that. However, Ashe is not taking damage. Now, obviously, the ADC is the target you always want to be attacking. Here we finally get a Q that actually hits the Ashe and the E as well. But here we're just trying to just like really just get in some poke. Here we actually try to ult. We actually do get the ult, but you can see that Ornn barely takes any damage. We do dodge the Ashe ult though, so that is a huge win. We are trading, but we have run out of mana, so we're not gonna be very useful here. Because we don't have the mana, but we do have our stacked lethal tempo, so we are getting in a decent amount of damage. Ashe is now really low. Yeah, and here Nami unfortunately goes to ward, walks straight into Kha'Zix and Aurelion, so basically gets 4-man ganked and does end up going down. So here we recall, we complete our armor boots, and we're gonna start building towards the Bork. So here we're headed straight back to the lane. Ashe still has yet to recall, which is really weird. Now, there was a part of me that I was considering to essentially ghost and flash on her with my ulti, and in hindsight, I probably should have done that because Ashe doesn't have any summoner spells. So I think that that's actually, honestly, I wouldn't say a free kill because I probably would have to blow both summons, but it is going to be a kill for me, you know, basically guaranteed. Because Braum has already recalled and Ashe doesn't have sums, so it would have been a guaranteed kill, so probably should have done that in hindsight. But here another thing about Braum, he can block you from attacking tower, so we're trying to get a plate here, but he's blocking it, and we barely end up getting a plate. A little bit risky here. We're going to go into the ult again. We proc onto the Braum. Yasuo is coming in to try to help. Unfortunately, I missed the arrow, and Nami actually dies. Asol is now here as well, and we're going to have to back off. But Yasuo flashes back in, gets the double knockup, kills the the Ashe, and I'm gonna flash forward, try to kill the Braum. I have my lethal tempo stacked up. Braum somehow just does not die, doesn't die again, and now I'm on 1 HP as well. Yeah, Braum is really, really tanky. Yeah, I can't really get the kill onto him, which kind of sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. Can't really do too much about that. Now we're going to get the attack speed component of the Bork first, so we can get out more attacks more often. And here you can see Kha'Zix is doing the dragon. Braum is now just hopping into the pit, and enemy teams is doing the dragon in general. Not a lot we can really do to contest it. Tryndamere is in the base. Not really interested in objectives whatsoever, and not even going for the Herald, if I remember the match correctly. Yeah, he's going to the blue side now, after the dragon's already been taken. Supposedly to farm his blue side jungle, I guess. Yeah, you know, you always run into these kind of jungles from time to time, where basically they imagine objectives just don't exist and they're just AFK farming their jungle for the whole game. Alright, so anyway, back to the lane, back to the 2v2. Now, as I think I mentioned just now, the early game is not very interesting, because I'm going to tell you that I think by the time it reaches 10 minutes, I think I am like, I think I still have this same scoreline now. Unfortunately, me and Nami have a little bit of a miscommunication where I was trying to take the fruit and Nami is trying to engage instead. So Nami pops the ulti, but I'm like nowhere near. Ashe now pops the ulti. I am able to flash the Braum ulti. Sorry, I just lied, because apparently I do get a kill onto Ashe, so I don't stay at this scoreline. Braum is taking a bunch of damage, but unfortunately exhausts me, so I don't have the movement speed to catch up to him, and I don't actually end up killing him. So here instead we're gonna just clear the wave, and we're gonna push in, try to get some tower plates, which are still up for grabs for slightly less than another minute. So we're gonna grab a plate, maybe grab a second plate. Now the Herald is being done by my Set as well as my Yasuo. Tryndamere, by the way, in the meanwhile, still in the base. He seems to maybe he has connection issues or something. He seems to be in the base for a long time. So either he is having connection issues or he is having trouble shopping. But either way, that's no good. So here we finally complete the Blade of the Rune King, and now we can start building into the Heartsteel. So now with the Blade of the Rune King, it should be a little bit easier to deal damage to the Braum, because obviously he's gonna deal % of his health. So that's going to be good. Now, our tower is getting completely demolished by them. They've pretty much gotten all of the plates except the last one. And here we're just clearing out the minions. Nami Bubble nearly actually hits the Ashe. If she stepped up like one more step, she wouldn't have gotten hit by that. Aesol is now here to cause trouble. Yasuo's coming in as well. Yasuo recalling though. Now, Tryndamere is coming in. This looks like a probable fight here. So I'm going to pop the Ghost to try to join in the fight. Aesol, the big ulti comes in. I'm going to ult the Braum because he's really the only target I can hit. It spreads onto both the Ashe and the Aesol. I get an arrow onto Aesol and onto the Braum. But I'm really low, so I'm going to have to flash out. Nami is trying to heal me and help me get out. Speeds up the Yasuo as well to get him out. And the fight pretty much is over. Nothing too much really happens, to be very honest. So I'm 1-0-1. Yeah, really not too much action whatsoever. This is a pretty boring game. Both teams have really few kills. There's only a total of 8 kills in the game in 8 minutes, which is really low kill count for a solo queue game, if I do say so myself. And yeah, so now we are just going to continue clearing the minions. And this time our tower is gone though, so we do have to be a little bit more cautious. But in this case, we do have Yasuo kind of hovering off to the side. Aesol is there as well though. So here we're gonna finally get the tower. So we do have equivalent tower, and now we can actually maybe move to other places on the map. So we're gonna first recall, grab ourselves the components for Heartsteel, restore our mana mainly, and see if we can hit elsewhere to see if we can get something else done. Dragon, of course, coming up in 45 seconds, so that is going to be something we would want to contest if Tryndamere is actually up for it. So we're going to have to see how it goes. So here I'm just hovering behind the Yasuo. I don't think the enemies can see me until I start attacking the minions, of course. But it's not like Braum is going to engage onto Yasuo for no good reason, so not too much is really lost here. So now I'm going to quickly grab the Rit buff. Of course, Rit buff really important for that slow as well as the damage. And Nami's kind of getting, I wouldn't say engaged on, but kind of getting chased a little bit by Asol as well as Ashe, but not too much really happens here. Tryndamere is actually on the right side of the map this time. I unfortunately do get caught by Ashe. I get caught by the Braum ulti, which this time I am not able to actually flash. And here I actually survive for a very long time with the help of Nami. And I actually get the kill onto Ashe because she got stunned, not stunned, rooted under the tower by my ulti. And she actually ends up dying. So overall it's a 1-for-1 trade. But we do end up dying. Now Tryndamere actually is trying to contest the dragon this time. However, my team is not really in the best position to contest it. Both ADCs are gone, so we're gonna see how the teams handle that. Tryndamere decides to go get some fruit for some reason while the dragon's still actively being contested. And he's now headed back in, gets rooted, gets exhausted, runs back out again. Nami saves him with the help of a bubble, and Nami has to flash away. Tryndamere smites the Gromp for health, and now just starts doing the Gromp. I've respawned and I'm trying to make it back to the fight. Nami gets a nice bubble. I'm stacking up. I have Heartsteel now. I'm stacking up the Heartsteel onto the Maokai. I get that Heartsteel prop onto the Maokai, as well as Braum. And here I do have flash, but I don't want to flash the wall and waste my flash. I am, however, able to finish off the kill onto the Braum eventually. And now Asol finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Tryndamere is running him down. Tryndamere has ult, and Tryndamere is going to finish off the kill. Ashe is now in trouble. I'm going to get the ulti onto the Kha'Zix, who is trying to run away. We are able to finish off that kill onto the Kha'Zix. And Maokai is trying to defend his mid lane, which we are trying to push in. Ashe behind him, trying to help as well. Here I just trying to DPS onto the Maokai, trying to get their Heartsteel proc, but Maokai goes a bit too far away. And you can see we do a lot of damage to Maokai with the percent health, as well as, you know, just the Bork. So here just running him down, finally getting the kill onto him. Now I've run out of mana here though, so I kind of do want to recall to get mana as well as spend my gold from getting the kills. So we are going to quickly retreat, go behind the wall to stay out of vision, and then quickly recall. So now we're at 5, 1-1 out of nowhere, and out of nowhere we got the most gold in the game. So this is where, after 10 minutes, is where the game really takes a swing, and it starts getting exciting, you know, at long last. Or at least exciting for me. So here, back to the mid lane, we get hit by all of Asol's stuff, but you can see we barely take any damage because of the Heartsteel. We're basically still at full health. And we just got hit by his ulti and his W. So Nami ult comes in. We're trying to catch the Ashe flashing forward. For some reason, Set ults her away, which makes it really hard for me to kill her. I'm just DPSing whoever, the only person that I can actually DPS, which is the Braum. I get rooted here. I finally get the kill onto the Braum. And now we're trying to move on to the next target, which is going to be the Maokai. Maokai is just getting DPS by me. We get the kill onto him with the help of the Bork. You can see the Bork value in this match is shredding down them tanks on the enemy team. And Tryndamere is getting off a split push. Kha'Zix tries to jump in, just has to flash back out. Here I'm just face tanking Asol while just dealing damage to him, and Yasuo is able to finish off that kill. So you can see, I guess one of the benefits that you have as tank Varus is just you can face tank so much damage. I believe we have like, I can't really see, the number is a little bit too small, but we have definitely triple digit Heartsteel stacks. I think it's like, you know, 200 plus. I can't really see, the value is too small, but yeah, we are getting quite a bit of Heartsteel value this game because we are able to kind of just proc it onto like the Maokais and the Braums of the world, and yeah, it's definitely working out. So here we actually have a 1-3-1 split push. But Set is probably coming to help, I think. Yep, Set is coming to help. And Tryndamere is not. So here, we're Tryndamere split pushing. Maokai finds himself getting run down by my team. Nice Nami wave, actually, to try to cut him off. But unfortunately, he doesn't get hit by it. So here I get the ulti onto him. It's going to spread onto the Braum, which is going to spread onto the Ashe and the Asol. So my ulti spreads onto everybody. Full stacks onto everybody. I hit the Q onto the Ashe. But because I am building tank, my Q doesn't do nearly enough damage to finish off the kill onto her. Now here, I believe I can have my Titanic Hydra completion, so I'm going to actually back and get the Titanic Hydra here. Of course, this is a very big buy. Converting the health into AD is pretty huge, so this should be a big boost to my damage. Now Tryndamere, despite the fact that he's not been going for objectives, he actually has more gold than me. He's actually 4-0-3, so he's a really huge threat on our team as well. And our team in general is doing pretty alright. You know, we have like 8k gold lead against the enemy team at this point, so we are definitely really far ahead. And the final dragon is spawning. It is going to be Infernal Soul for the enemy team if they get it, so we kind of want to avoid that if possible. I try to flash forward to engage onto the Ashe, but I'm not quite able to get it. Now here, I'm just going to, again, just ult the Braum and get rid of him. I've basically only been ulting Braum this match, which is not really the ideal target, but it does help me burst them down more quickly and him down more quickly, and it has been spreading. Here I actually was on target to hit Ashe there, but Ashe dies before my arrow connects. Here I'm again just DPSing Maokai. Maokai is just taking a bunch of damage. I'm charging on my arrow. Boom, I hit it. And he's like 1 HP. I can't even see his health bar. So it's really unfortunate that he didn't die there. However, despite that, we are going to be able to quickly pick up this this tower here. And now we're just going to go onto the base and just end the game because they cannot defend. So I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.